Hey friends, VLCD number 4, March 22nd, 2017. I am down a pound. I am 7 pounds down on day 4. I am total, and I am pleased with the way things are going. I did not eat dinner last night. I just got home so late that I felt like it just wasn't going to be. I wasn't really, I was slightly hungry, but I wasn't really that hungry enough to make a full meal at 9, whatever it was, 15 at night. It just makes no sense to eat and then go to bed. I am a huge believer in eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not hungry. And so that's kind of the whole hunger scale issue. If you want more information on that, you can go see Robin Woodall. I'm not a big Robin Woodall fan. She's really intense. Although some people say sometimes I'm kind of intense. I think her theory and the concept is right in line with how I feel about a WOE, and that's like lifestyle. Those are lessons to learn. So you wake up hungry sometimes, and when you wake up hungry, a lot of times the first thing I do is I go have a huge glass of water, and then I have my coffee, or if you're a tea drinker, drink your tea. So finding a balance with a way of eating for me means I usually don't eat until the afternoon. And that's by choice, and I've been that way since I was a kid. Some people, I have my husband and one of my daughters out of 3 wake up and they need to eat the second their feet hit the floor. And then myself and 2 of my other daughters, we just don't eat. We get, we eat breakfast occasionally, when it's a family thing or if you're going out or whatever. But on average, as a whole, we don't wake up and eat the second we get up. We're both, my one daughter's in South America right now, so the daughter that currently lives with me, we can go till 10, noon, even later. And yesterday, because of all the fluids and everything that I was trying to do with the science experiment that I create the first 2 weeks of PT with my body and all the supplements that I add to it, I didn't eat my lunch until like 3:30 or something in the afternoon. So I'm not trying to starve myself. I'm trying to listen to my body. And that's kind of my recommendation to you guys at this point is it's really P2 for me is always the mental game of learning once again to listen to your body and learn your cues when you're not hungry. HCG takes the hunger away. And so then you're left with daily routines and triggers of, oh, I'm on the phone, I need to eat. Oh, I'm in the car, I need to eat. Oh, I'm driving by that same place that I love to eat out at, whether it's a drive-through or a restaurant, I need to eat. So those are things that we all need to acknowledge, because once the HCG is gone and you're back eating on your own without the assistance of not being hungry, are you going to fall back into that same trap when you're off protocol? So I eat when I'm hungry and I don't when I'm not. And again, if you're hungry, this protocol is not about starving yourself. Eat your food, but before you eat anything else that's not on protocol, have you eaten everything that is on protocol for the day? And a lot of times that's the easiest way to keep on track. Did you eat all your fruit? Whether you're a Melba toast eater or whatever, a grissini eater or not, have you had your grissini for the day? Have you gotten all your water in? Did you eat enough veggies even just veggies that are on protocol? And did you get both your proteins in? After you've done all that, if you're still hungry, then you got to start looking at other things. Are you on the right, if you're doing injections, is your dose right? If you're not on, like I do sublingual drops, I've always had great success with that, so that's always been what I've done. Are you getting enough sleep? Is your stress too high? Are you, whatever. Those are things that for me directly affect my releases and how I feel on a round. So there I go on my bandwagon about that. I'm going to show you guys this morning the things that I take to work every day that I go to work, the first 2 weeks of P2. And it is a little crazy. It is a bit of a science experiment, so bear with me. Some of you may be interested in it, and some of you could care less, and you just do what you do, and that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. These are things that help me around and make me feel good. The first 2 weeks, I push really hard with detoxing my body, and I use this liver detox. I've used it for years. Usually I do it with every change of the season. So 4 times a year I use this. If I am doing a round, I use it in the first 2 or 3 weeks. And what it is a product that it has 3 different things. So one is Rejuve, which is like a psyllium husk, like a fiber. One is Swedish bitters, and one is red clover. And I'm going to go into more detail on those in an Instagram post about the benefits of taking those or doing a liver cleanse. My Instagram is HCG Rebel. In addition to that, I always carry a half of a lemon, packets of stevia or Truvia. You see Truvia here because I'm out of stevia. Normally it's stevia, but I have both in my household. And I try to carry them in my car, a couple packets in my car, in my purse, at work. I also do a little jar of coconut oil so that I always have that with me at work if I'm going to cook something. I want to be able to have something to cook my veggies or my protein in. I use this other product called Chloroxygen, and I take a probiotic. I also do B12 sublingual drops. And then I also have a bottle, bear with me, I'm at work, so I'm trying to get turned around. I also have a bottle of apple cider vinegar, and I add that to my water every morning. And I carry that in case, like yesterday, I had tea before I left the house rather than my ACV, and so I carry that with me so that I can add that to either dressing or my daily intake of hot water after I'm done with my coffee. So those are the things that you see right here. In a pile. Not everybody has to do this. I just do it. I do it because I like the benefits of how it makes me feel energy-wise, detox-wise, using the bathroom and having bowel movements regularly is very important on P2. So I've just seen the rounds where I didn't use it and I kind of felt sluggish and I wasn't going to the bathroom enough, and I didn't have enough energy. And overall, it's a benefit for me, so it's something that I use. Okay, so I just got off work, finished this vlog. I had a salad today with chicken, MCT oil vinaigrette. Everyone always asks me about that. It's just the most basic thing. It's just a packet of good seasonings, Italian dressing, powdered mix, which I'm sure has crap in it, but that's what I use. I've always used it. MCT oil is put in place of an olive oil or whatever other oil you would normally use when making a vinaigrette. And I use balsamic vinegar most of the time. You can use like red wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar or whatever, but I like the balsamic vinegar. Yes, it does have a little bit of sugar in it, but it's minimal, and I don't eat anything else that has a high amount of sugar. I didn't even get my fruits in today, so that's not something that I'm really worried about. So I mix that up, and I always have that at work. That's one thing that wasn't on the in the picture that I showed earlier. I have it at work. I bring it with me when I go out to dinner. My kids and my husband eat it even when we're not on protocol. That's what I use. That's how I make it. So I made a green salad, 4 cups of lettuce. I threw in 6 cherry tomatoes and mixed 2 tablespoons of the MCT vinaigrette into that, and then in addition to that, I took my serving of chicken for the day, 4 ounces of chicken, and mixed that with 2 tablespoons of salsa and heated it up in the microwave, because that's just, I'm at work, and mixed that up in the salad and ate that. And then I also added one wasa, broke it up into pieces so there's a little bit of crunch in there. I don't eat grissini, wasa, melba every day, but I was looking for, that's what I wanted, so I added it to that, and I've never had any trouble with that in the past. I only did one. And then what else? I had some tea. I had apple cider vinegar water. I had, right now I'm drinking a Smooth Move tea and like a dandelion tea on my way home from work. And then for dinner I had chicken broth, homemade chicken broth. And then so I took the homemade broth, I add a little bit of salt and pepper to it, tossed in another handful of my chicken because that's what I have, and it's really easy to travel with, and it was good. It was really good. It kind of reminded me of Campbell's chicken noodle soup that I used to eat when I was a teenager, except for there weren't any noodles in it, and I didn't have any veggies, so I didn't put any veggies in it, but it was really good. So I had that today for dinner, and when I get home I'm gonna have one little coffee sugar-free candy, and I'll put a picture, I can't think of what it is, so I'll put a picture of that in here to cap the night off. And that's it. All right. I hope I didn't rattle on too much today. I'm gonna have to go. It's just crazy. I just cracking myself up. Okay, it's the end of the day. I'm totally rummy. I'm so tired. I can't even think straight. I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.